In the latest episode of the Rebel podcast with Ignacio and Nacho, you're going to get insight into what it means to be an artist. This guy, Nacho, is releasing an album on May 24th called MAPA, and he plays 3 songs from that upcoming album, but out of a state of flow, out of talking about his life, about having this Cuban mother, being born and raised between Chile and Uruguay. He's just expressing from his soul and his experience, and it's beautiful because we're reminded of what it means to be an artist. So if you're an artist or thinking about being an artist, this is the podcast for you. I hope you'll enjoy Nacho and his music, and see you on the other side. Let me know what you think.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good evening. Why are we here?
And for me, it's a great opportunity because you're probably one of those persons that I truly can speak my mind out and really not feel judged, but also I feel I have the permission to explore the mind that my mind sometimes I don't even understand. So, yeah, for me it was immediately like, yes.
Yeah.
I would just want to talk to you. And
I thought about how I wanted to do this and about if I should guide you, because I think your artistic mind can go in different places. And actually, the conclusion that I came up with was that I don't really want to guide you. I want, I would like people to have the experience that I have when I'm with you, which is that we go on different journeys. And we always figure our way through it.
Yeah, true.
And I always find real meaning in all the things that you're saying. But maybe if people are always looking for a linear way to get something, they might not get it. But I think it's really important for people to see the way, an artistic, not autistic, and maybe a little bit, an artistic mind works.
Wow. It's true that. Yeah, I think I can overthink, and that's also when which with every door that opens in my brain, I kind of tend to peek in and just follow that trail, and then another one opens and I go.
Yeah.
So I've been actually trying to make a real effort on communicating better in that sense of being get to the point, because it's, for me, even thinking is creative in some points. So I think just realizing this, even just thinking about random stuff, it's a creative act, I think.
Yeah.
So I've been actually trying to do the opposite now, try to express more linearly, which I love that you embrace the opposite of me, that I don't think linearly.
Yeah. Because sometimes I feel
jump timelines.
Yeah, I know you jump timelines. And I feel sometimes the pressure that I hear you talk about when you're oh man,
I need to make sense.
I need to make sense. I don't want to discourage that, because I think in a world, I think we try to put too many boxes on things to make it easily understandable by most people. But in reality, the truth exists far more in the mess of it.
Yep.
In some ways, I find more truth in the ways that you talk, even though there's sometimes not a clear, direct,
it's just
place
where
it lives. And I think there's something really beautiful in that, and that's what I wanted. That's what I thought about going into this, that I wanted to allow room for that.
Wow.
Which is probably the opposite of what you thought.
Yeah, the opposite. I thought you were gonna be so what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And I'll be very brief and short.
No. I mean, maybe it's important to talk a little bit about where you're from and a little bit about your upbringing to get us to the place where we are today. Because I think your background is interesting. I sometimes am confused by it. Okay, so you
and I am confused about
you
it.
are.
So I was born here in Miami.
Ah.
Born in Miami. I grew up in Chile. So I never lived in Miami. I was born here. I grew up in Chile. My mom is from Cuba and my dad is from Uruguay. So.
And you were in Chile from what years to what years?
No, since pretty much a couple weeks old. I was born. I went back to Chile.
And then?
And then I stayed there between Uruguay and Chile, but I was going to school in Chile, which such an experience.
Why?
Because I always had that thing of like where I'm from, right? But like now that I'm here and I can see all of these places where I lived and I gathered friends and people and stuff and put it in my bag, I can be very grateful about it even today. Like knowing that I went through all of those places and I was able to feel from there, even though I always felt like a little bit of a stranger. But
yeah,
but finding your place, and finding the love in the people and just the memories. I think it's like you have the memories you cultivate when you're little in those places. I think they're like nostalgic.
Do you think that there's a clear part of you that is Chilean, a clear part of you that is Uruguayan, and a clear part of you that is Cuban, or a clear part? Are those things you carry with you?
Yeah, I think inherently, like I carry it, and I'm proud of it.
We're drinking mate right now, so.
Sí, but I feel like una amalgama, like I feel like
like a
little
mixture.
Lego, a mixture, and I grab the best from each place, whatever, and I try to still represent it in some sort of way. Still, I will say culturally, maybe because of my family, Uruguay draws a lot of my roots there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's something related to family and cultural
identity. Something.
But even it was funny because like even the Cuban side, I was able to kind of reclaim it through music as well.
Because you didn't grow up going to Cuba.
No, neither my mom. She never had my grandpa. One of the songs I'm releasing in the album, but I wrote to my grandpa. It's called Cuba, and it's a song for my grandfather, because he always told me you can't go to Cuba until I die, and he's 95 or 94, and he's almost ready to cross over, and I wanted that permission, so I wrote that song kind of to sing that song to him and get that permission to go to those roots, even though it's so funny because nobody's from Cuba. Like they either Spain or Africa, or nobody's from Uruguay, they come from Europe. It's like, it's all at the end. If you go a couple like generations back, it's funny how, the game of identity, I guess.
I wonder if that's an opportunity to play a little bit of the song, if you're open to it.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Good guidance.
I mean, it just occurred to me that you're talking about it so nostalgically. It makes sense.
Actually, sí. Nah, it will be
fine.
It's fine. Oh, new guitar. Estaba en el álbum.
Sí.
Mirando aquellas fotos tuyas, Montevideo. Qué lindo barrio sur, contame cuándo te veo. Es el aroma que me lleva en la nostalgia del tiempo. Del río Mapocho a la Alameda, los relojes se detuvieron. Chile. Y si no fuera por aquel 1 de enero de Revolution, no estaría mi familia tan lejos de su suelo. Y dice, y cuando veo tu mirada, es cuando yo me imagino en tus calles Habana, y en su memoria lejana mi madre me hizo adorar esta sangre cubana. Cuba, Cuba, por pisar esas calles me muero de ganas. Cuba, mi abuelo me dijo hasta que yo no muera no vaya. La ira, 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 ira. La ra 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 ra. La ira, 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 ira. I continue. Recuerdo que me hablabas de aquel malecón de Cienfuegos. That was his city. Como el destino dibujó una cordillera en el medio. Llevo tatuadas en la piel ciudades que llevo dentro. Pero hay un mapa y una isla que me espera en secreto. Cuba.
Wow.
Y cuando veo tu mirada, es cuando yo me imagino en tus calles Habana y en su memoria lejana. Mi madre me hizo adorar esta sangre cubana. Cuba, Cuba, por pisar esas calles me muero de ganas. Cuba, mi abuelo me dijo hasta que yo no muera, no vaya.
Wow. I'm glad we followed that instinct.
Wow.
That was so sick. Okay, so we'll keep doing that. Like if the opportunity arises to weave a song into the story, then we'll do it.
Wow. Cathartic.
Yeah, and I felt it. I mean, I don't know if you felt it, but I felt it.
I did.
Yeah.
I just love how friends can really be such a guidepost, you know, to, I don't know, right now in my human experience,
Yeah.
this is a really epic moment. Not even kidding.
How come?
Not only for having this moment to truly be here, speak your mind off, like whatever it's coming in. Also allowing that flow to happen, that interestingly enough, it's like now we're guided by something else, in the sense, something else is guiding this interview in that sense. And that's when magic happens in my brain, because I was like, wow, this is, today I'm meeting with the producer. We're in the final part of the album. And I don't have a name for the album yet. The songs are ready, but I don't have a name. I don't have an order. And so many times, well, and yeah, just having this moment to dive in, I pretty much, this conversation that you started guiding, I can see kind of what's going to happen eventually.
I don't think we can know though.
No, we can't. No.
Because I don't know.
No, I have no idea, but I just have a feeling, in the sense that it just gave me happiness. Okay, this is where my brain is going.
Yeah.
Boom. It gave me happiness because I'm seeing how true these songs are, and what I've been working on this past 5 months, 6 months. They hold truth.
Yeah.
And it's me, because you started just asking about my life, and we ended up in the songs again. It's an autobiography.
Yeah.
Of my life till today, this album that I've been making. And now you're asking me all of this, and I'm having this cathartic moment, or whatever word is. And I'm like, wow. Okay, continue.
Well, I mean,
You want nothing?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I was just thinking how vulnerable it must be. I mean, I know because I have a book coming out, and I put myself out there as much as I possibly can. But do you have to disconnect from the process of releasing, or like, can you feel okay about? I don't know. Like, are you not nervous about putting your soul out there?
Yeah, but they're like expectations that I put on the people.
On the people?
Wait, give me a second.
I can ask it again if you want.
No, I think I got it. I'm just thinking. So you're saying if I let go of expectation when I release it, or how do I deal with it?
Well, I guess like your soul is being bared naked in the album, and now other people are going to see an insight into your soul.
Yep. Yeah.
And isn't that scary?
It is a little scary, especially when you have to defend it in a world that it's so fast food, you know, like so sometimes it can be tribal, and you fall prey of wanting to fit in that tribalness. Why, even though this album I made it with the intention of myself.
Yeah.
Like I want to do something to honor myself, my roots, my journey. And it's because like those were the songs that were mostly me and mostly singer-songwriter songs. It's You're My Story. It's not a song that I know like good things are gonna happen because it was made from that really authentic place.
Yeah. Maybe
it's just that
maybe that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And then also just do the work, do the first work of creation also. Then now my second phase comes in. This is the first time I release an album. There are many things I don't know, but it's more like the image, how I'm gonna look, the presentation, all that more boring stuff maybe.
Yeah.
And that's usually where my mind gets a little weak, in the sense that I start thinking on the external. Oh, it is gonna be like the validation. You're scared. I'm gonna do it anyways. But what I'm afraid is myself not to believe in it.
But isn't that already?
Yeah, but I fall prey of the imposter syndrome sometimes. Yeah. So you're like, oh wait, No, I'm very proud. I'm always gonna listen to it. But sometimes I'm thinking, oh, are they gonna like it? And you start questioning, like, will I do this if nobody listened to it? There's a couple questions I always like. Will I do it if nobody ever heard this? Will I still do it? And I think I got to myself. I was like, yeah. And now that I did this process, even more, I'm like excited to do the next album, and I haven't even released this one.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like creatives staying as much as possible in the energy of creation and having that's why that whole system exists, which is unfortunate because it takes advantage of people who are creative, but in many ways it allows you to keep, for the most part, eventually staying in your lane of creation, and rather than being always in the lane of promoting and putting the thing out there. I guess from my experience, like I really enjoyed writing my book. I'm not sure if I like the process of releasing it out into the world.
It's interesting.
But I think what you're saying is like, as long as it remains true
thing
to you, then it's easier to come back to the feeling that you're proud of it or that you're okay with it. That you don't need to look for the validation externally so much because you have the truth that it's your truth.
Sí, absolutely. And also, regards to the releasing and all that, before I recorded the album, I was recording with Juan Carlos Peresoto for another song of a friend that we got nominated, that Respira with Ale Moore. And he told me like 2 years ago, he told me something that I was like, it's okay to also be lost. He told me
be lost.
Or like, I'm Ignacio. Like it's a thing of embracing more of like the entirety of who I am and not sticking to I'm a musician or I am this, I am that. No, I am. Punto. In the sense that he told me this, I thought it was brilliant. He told me, Ignacio, I was very lost. I was a little bit in a spiritual journey, confused. And he told me, Ignacio, we're guitars.
Ignacio, what?
Juan Carlos told me, somos guitarras. We are guitars. And you gotta, and each string of the guitar is an aspect of yourself. It could be many more strings than 6, but it could be like the social, the economic, the purpose, love, like each. And I've been seeing this process that I have been tuning my guitar, each string, because like sometimes you gotta focus on one string and you're gonna be like, and then the other one's gonna get like, because of the weather. So it's a constant like checking on the
Whoa.
of you as a guitar, like, oh, how is this string? It's on tune. ¿Cómo andamos? Here. Good. Recording a podcast.
Hola. Hi.
I'm going to Uruguay with the cruise.
Oh, I'll see you there. Bye. Amigo.
Good. I like it.
I like it.
You know,
So each part.
Yeah, I
And-
think it's beautiful.
And to end that part,
Yeah.
it's like until you reach and you try to you need to try to tune it to your sound, whatever sound that is, whatever authentic
Yeah.
thing you are. And then the universe, the dog or whatever is gonna be like, he told me like, and then God is gonna be like, oh, that guitar sounds unique. That guitar is tuned up and I haven't heard it. Boom. And then this something else starts playing through you and it makes things happen. But you cannot tune to an artist that you like. That artist already exists. So that moment I was like, oh, it's okay that I need to focus on finance right now and work and what
Yeah.
I'm doing and taking care of Timba.
Hello, Timba.
Hola, Timba.
You know, that actually reminds me of something that I've been thinking about in my own journey, I guess, is that at the end of the day, like I I already think we are instruments of something greater. We are the instruments of something.
Sí.
But our kind of job in this plane of existence is to like remove the things that prevent us from being our true selves. So it's like I go through my own tuning process myself in order to be the most pure expression of who I am and therefore be the purest instrument of something greater. So that really resonates with me.
Because even, I think there has to be a purpose. And I think if we continue being so egocentrical, like I think it's good to be of service of something greater than you.
Yeah.
In a sense. And
When-
like, no,
Uh-huh.
wait, I don't know why. That was just an intrusive thought.
Was it intrusive?
I don't know. Was it?
I
You
mean,
tell me.
I mean, I suspect that when you are playing guitar and you're playing music, you're following something that is alive inside of you. And that aliveness is maybe at times you interpret it as selfish or something because you're having so much fun. But in many ways it's also like following joy and aliveness is almost like the thing that you need to do in order to then be
Yeah.
of service.
Hmm.
Because other people like react to that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've been actually thinking about that. Like, I truly follow enthusiasm. Did I say it right?
Yeah, truly follow enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, good enough. You got it. You understood.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, and I think maybe being enthusiastic is like having God inside in a sense, you know, like just follow. Yeah, I think that's one of the keys. What you said, it just
Do
resonated.
you remember when you first fell in love with music?
Since little.
You were always like playing
Yeah.
shit.
I would always play shit, but the most of it, I remember my mom would put certain songs when I was little, and I could seriously just fly away, create. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but actually I remember being little and have lucid, alive dreaming while I was listening to songs, and even once I saw myself like, I don't know, I would imagine myself playing, dancing or whatever when I was little, in front of, but little, no? Maybe 5, 6.
Like in front of crowds.
In front of crowds or, I don't know. Even in front of the president, I remember when I was like, in front of the president. Who cares? But yeah, I remember music was able to, the same way you played with toys, you would create a whole world. It would happen the same thing with music when I was little.
Uh-huh.
And then I got into in Chile. So I would always listen to a lot of music, but mainly because of my mom. She has great taste. Then I went to school. I joined the folk band of, música folclórica de Chile.
Yeah.
Iyapu, yo qué sé, Inti Illimani, singing all those songs. I played charango. Like, that's the first time I started like playing an instrument and something fun was happening there, even though I had no idea what was going on. Then I went into around 14, 15. I got into like DJing. I was like, Mom, I want to be a DJ at 14. And she sent me to like a little DJ school. And I kind of like, through DJs, I was able to pay for my production stuff. And then with friends, I was just like, we were making songs about school, or whatever.
Were you singing?
Yeah, I was singing the choruses, and then my friend Juan, he would rap. And that was like a whole thing happening, but we were still in high school. Then when I started writing like for real, that was kind of like a little bit of the beginning, but then when I started writing for real, it's like you encounter like love and you don't understand what the fuck is it.
Like love, like you fell in love with like a girl.
Whatever,
or
something happens and you're
Yeah.
like, how can I express this? And you're just creatively, you're just doing it. You're not even thinking, you're right. And then I started writing and I started playing the guitar. Like a year prior going to Nashville for university. And that's the first time I like started playing guitar.
You went to Nashville?
Yeah.
You graduated?
Yeah.
From what?
Surprisingly. What?
What was the name of the school?
Belmont University.
Uh-huh. And you played there like in a band or just by yourself or what? You wouldn't even play?
No, I had a band actually.
You
I had a
did?
dope band.
Yeah?
But Nashville is what really made me write.
Yeah.
Because the whole city is about writing songs. But I did my writing in Spanish, which was really cool. And I was even more special. I was like the Latino,
Yeah. Not like in Miami where you're...
Yeah, one more.
One more.
One more. I was special. I used to be special.
Yeah, I noticed that in some of your songs and thongs. I said thongs. I noticed that I feel like, well, maybe it's my own projection, but I hear a lot of themes around love.
Mm-hmm. Even though I'm not like I have my songs. Okay, also I think that's also the evolution of. Yet again, in these songs, I feel is in relationship to what I've already released, is a different me. It's a more matured, authentic, new sound.
You're
secure.
saying the last. Well, I feel like the last one's gonna feel inauthentic because you've evolved. But it probably was authentic to you then.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you're testing it out. There are a couple of songs that I love them, but maybe I was making them from the wrong place, which is not a wrong place itself. But I'm like, you're looking more for the validation to hit. You fall prey of the industry. That the industry is like
what they want from you.
And you're little. You don't know much. You don't know about being the captain of your boat. Of your ship. So there's a process of sovereignty in this thing of like, this year I realized, no, I want to do this. It's not that my mom, which is my biggest fan, or my sister or my dad or whoever, is like, they see the potential in you, but sometimes I wanted to be sure that it was actually my dream, not something that I was being just like good, but maybe no. And then I was able to discern once I took this leap of faith. I started my album. I was like, this is you. It.
So, is there a song that you would say represents like that moment, or like that somehow holds that place in your heart of like, okay, this is my moment where I've really stepped into me. It's okay if not. I just had the thought that maybe there was one.
See, no, there for sure. The whole album.
But one that maybe like...
Sí.
Yeah?
Let me think. I'm between Cachorro or Me Amo Más.
Maybe, describe it maybe. Or we'll see what resonates, yeah.
Sí, no. Wait, which? Describe
I don't know. Like before whatever song you choose, maybe like I'd love to hear
A little bit.
or where it comes from in terms of how it resonates with what I just said.
Okay, so I'm between two. I feel today I'm gonna sing both of them, so they're gonna be up the alley.
Yeah.
A ver, pero cada vez estoy contigo. What you were saying was also about repeat it. Just
Yeah,
to,
it was like, is there a song that represents that sovereignty, the coming back to yourself, this separation from the past self, where you were so focused on validation, and now you finally arrive into you?
Okay. Yes. Yep. So this song is this one. It's called Cachorro.
Yeah.
It's the last song I wrote for the album, and I wrote it. I wrote it I started while I was in Ibiza, and I finished it after Burning Man.
Okay.
So it was that process of being like with the sea, the wind, then the earth and the fire. It was like such an Avatar song.
Like you were coming into your own.
Yeah, because those trips in this year for me were like that sovereignty of moment of like, I'm gonna follow joy, enthusiasm, and fuck knows what's gonna happen.
Fuck everything else. We're gonna follow.
Let's just
joy and enthusiasm.
Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It worked.
Everything worked.
Hell yeah.
So this song was about that, and also about in the love sense and in relationships, how my Belu showed me an Instagram.
Sister.
Yeah, an Instagram account of, it's called Adiós Cachorra. So they have this concept of like a puppy, you know?
Yeah.
And the opposite, where I was thinking, so
goodbye, puppy.
Goodbye, puppy. Adiós Cachorra.
Goodbye, puppy.
So you have the cachorra, which is somebody I started thinking about this term. I was like, wow, sometimes I am a little cachorro.
You're a little puppy.
Yeah, you want love. You're a nice guy. You're looking for the validation. Somebody can hit you with a baseball bat, and you're gonna be like, oh, but I want love. You know? You're like, where's that? And then there's the other spectrum of it, where you can be total motherfucker, lobo feroz, a wolf, an angry wolf.
Angry wolf, yeah.
That doesn't feel that he deserves love, and he wants to just rip it away, or he can and I was like, why do I have to be one or the other? And then I kind of found this in this sovereignty, like kind of like, you have both, but it's with it. You guide with the heart, you know. So kind of like the song is about that, and about being sovereign, and freedom comes in that sovereignty. Even though we're never gonna be truly, completely.
It's somewhere in between.
Yeah. And the past and the love and. In these songs, they have so many sub branches that I can.
But I like the idea of this being the focal point of your moment of stepping into your trueness, your sovereignty.
And I don't think this will be the song. Maybe yes, that everybody's gonna be like, wow. It's kind of a.
You think it could be the song?
I don't know. It's a risky song in my opinion. But.
Risky because you're talking about themes of it's being a puppy or being the angry wolf.
Yeah, and it's me, but maybe.
Who cares?
Who cares? And yet again, I showed this to somebody and they were like, that's the song I don't really like. And I was like, yet again, I did it for myself. It didn't hurt because I did it for me.
Yeah, it still was hard though, I think.
No.
No, it was okay?
No, completely no. That's when I realized I was like, I'm so glad I did it for myself. Like, I don't care if somebody else really likes it. Cause
at least you created a reaction too.
Yeah, and you leave something. Y dice, and Timba sings on the song. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. Ya no tengo miedo y no me pienso ir a vivir en el pasado. Ahora solo tengo ganas de vivir, ser feliz navegando. ¿Por qué? porque estamos todos aprendiendo a amar. Todos somos parte de un ciclo vital. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. And this is all lo que quiero ser, ¿no?
It's all you want to be.
Un capitán, un rey, un mago, un buen amante, un gran hermano, un guerrero enamorado, más bien un firme soberano. Lo ven, hombres y mujeres aprendiendo a amar. 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 Timba, vení. Vení, vamos a cantar. Vení acá, arriba. Y hop, ahí súbete. Vamos a cantar. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Canta. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. No soy un cachorro, no soy un lobo feroz. Quiero ser un firme soberano de lo que siente mi corazón. Timba, that's your song.
How did you?
And also, I have a cachorro, so for me, ay, Timba.
I don't know how you taught him how to do that.
She just did it one day, party trick. But then when I sing this is her song, you know?
Yeah.
Because
really
she's a
is.
puppy. She's a puppy.
Oh my god, you did so good.
Dude, she was. You see how she
Yeah.
hits the note?
She hit the note. That was amazing. And she's like, ow. Yeah, boo, 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 boo. That was amazing.
That's weird.
Amazing. Good
Yeah,
job.
perfect pitch for being a doggy. Hey, that was a
A perfect
pitch. Holy shit. Yeah, ¿qué?
Relax, dude. You
Ay.
did good. You did good.
That was awesome. Give me 5. Okay. How is it looking?
Everything's
Vení,
good, everything's
acá arriba.
good.
Vení. Dale, vení, dale. Sin ladrar.
Sin ladra.
Yeah, enough.
Yeah, I like that song a lot.
Wow.
Why? What are you feeling?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see how that's like. You know, I resonate with that song because I think for so many years I was like, I needed to be the good boy to my mom especially, and so I think I put aside a lot of my own like raw parts, like the parts
Yeah,
that really like wanted to
that
be
masculine.
more, yeah, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, and then I think I pushed the good boy away, and I went in the opposite direction.
Yep.
And I think I didn't care so much about other people's emotions and feelings in that whole world.
Been there.
And I think it's like, how do we come back, you know, to our true essence, like where we can both be kind, gentle, warm, and also have desire, you know?
Oy. Sí.
Yeah, it's a good song. I like that, and it makes a lot of sense for you to be there.
Mm-hmm. And it's like it's a goodbye at the same time, and also opening a window for for the new to come. You know.
Yeah.
Still, because you don't want to lose the the joy. You don't want to lose that kid essence that actually I have more fun. I could be more and bad, but I'm also happier this way. Is in some
Yeah.
sort of way.
I think I worry sometimes, which I have a controversial thought.
Oh, yeah.
I know, maybe I shouldn't
Toss
do
it. Yeah, toss it. Because I'm struggling a little bit there.
I think, like, I worry that as much as I work on my emotions and to show up with love and compassion, sometimes I feel the pressure in certain environments that, like, in order to be seen as attractive, I have to be more mean or have to, or something. And it pisses me off because I'm like, I wish you would see me as being attractive
And kind.
in my kindness.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of these examples where it's like, it doesn't matter if you you are seen or aren't seen. It's like, you just have to keep showing up because it's what's right.
Yeah.
And it's because it's true.
And yeah, I think it's integrity. Whatever is your integrity. And also, people do so much trauma bonding, you know, like that's the cachorro and the wolf thing that I have, you know, is that game of maybe I can't reach. I'm like, well, if I'm this, okay. If I'm the cachorro, this I'm not gonna have that. I'm gonna be nice and nothing happens.
Right.
If you're bad, sometimes it doesn't feel right for me. That I feel my emotions. I like to be empathic to a certain level. So I think it's just being like strong, integral, like on yourself and.
So I have another.
Like straight up.
Like straight up and grounded, you know?
Straight up, boom. This.
Yeah.
Thing like less, which something I'm still have to work with.
I wanted to take us down a different path, which was about dreams. You talked about how as a kid you had these, like, you know, big dreams, you know, about playing in front of crowds and the president and all kinds of things that we all have as kids. I think I dreamt of being president one day. I don't know if that's what I want to be. I mean, I would do it if I could just be myself.
Claro.
But anyway.
No, what a shitty job.
It's a shitty job.
Shitty job.
It's a shitty job. But it's a shitty job. It doesn't have to be, though. I mean, I feel like it could be cool. But
it'd be cool.
You'd have to. Actually, you guys had that guy, the old dude, the president in Uruguay, who was kind of just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, I've never talked about politics.
Me too. I'm so bad about politics.
I should be good because of my grad degree and shit. I just don't like the things that separate us.
Yeah, it's all. It's just separation in that sense.
Because I don't feel separation truly. Like, I feel it when other people put it on me. When people are like, oh, you're Jewish or you're this. And I'm like, yeah. But, like, that doesn't mean that, like, I want your people to die. Right? You know? Like, it doesn't. I want the best for you. Because I also want the best for me. And together.
Yeah, nothing's separate from each other.
Right.
You know, it's like one wave after the other one, but they're one sea. Yeah.
I feel like the artist somehow is there's something about that with what it means to be an artist and not experiencing separation. But I'm not sure.
Wow. Not quite sure. No experience. I think eventually you have to like break down your ego so much, I feel. If you're a true artist, I feel true artist.
Don't you think that term's kind of bullshit too, though?
Yeah.
The true artist.
Yeah.
I like hold in such high regard.
No.
Hey.
Fucker. Timba, I'm recording a podcast.
Going on the street. Oh, he's okay. He's good.
Timba, dale, vení. Have a super whistle. Timba, me voy. Sorry. Ven acá. Arriba. Hop, dale. Aquí. Muy bien, quédate ahí. Ok, continue.
I think you were
Separation.
saying something
Fuck
about
separation.
You were saying something about. Oh, I don't remember.
True artist.
Yeah, I sometimes in my head judge myself because I had to go and make money first in order to be in my artistry, or because like other people are constantly, they're gonna do their art no matter what.
No matter what.
And I feel like a bit of a sellout sometimes compared to what I see as a true artist. But it's kind of bullshit, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to like. Yeah, about that true artist. No, I'm thinking about like the economic part,
Yeah.
How you blend the economic with also putting value to your art, but also sometimes art has to be something. I'm not saying that for free, but
Well, maybe you don't trust the place where money comes into the equation.
or don't do it for the money,
Yeah.
basically. But still, it's nice.
But make money.
Yeah, but make money.
Yeah, but I think that comes down to a distrust that we have, like, which is like, will we be able to stay true to our art once we start getting the fame and the attention and the money? And maybe there's a part of us that knows that we'd like it so much that it might actually affect our art. I feel that way.
Sí.
I distrust that part in me.
There's a question I haven't completely answered, even though I think I'm closer to one end. But my therapist
Yeah.
asked me the other day, Ignacio, she really knows me, but she's like, are you more afraid of failing or success? ¿Le tienes más miedo al fracaso o al éxito?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. But before even answering that, it's like, do you have to define what is success to you, right? Because like, I don't know. And I was like, sometimes I could be more afraid of success.
Say more.
And I'm like, wow,
Because why?
stupid. Because no, I want to say maybe you can lose certain freedoms, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the judge, all the eyes that maybe you're gonna have upon you, and
I
I don't know.
There's
There's a contradiction there.
Yeah,
of
I feel that too.
going to the greatness and I don't know, and your subconscious, maybe through stories that we've heard, you play it safe, or you don't want to show that true you that's gonna bring that success to you.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think for me, where's the tension? I think I'm afraid of success because in a previous experience where I was successful, like
You still are.
I am.
It's like,
I am.
like
I am,
that's the also the stupid.
That is.
But
stupid.
okay, let's say,
But in
to
my
the-
time at Airbnb,
Okay.
that was a moment of great success. But in the process of being successful, I lost myself.
Yeah,
I gave
there's a-
away all of my
Yeah.
like my freedom to a company that at the time seemed to value it, but over a longer period of time, it became clear that it was just another company. And so I don't trust that I'm able to stay with myself in those moments of success, because in the past I've lost myself. So I've kind of been heartbroken in that place.
Wow. Sí.
But then I also fear failure, because I'm afraid of like dying living I don't know. I have this like judgment that's bullshit, but I keep thinking I'm afraid of being mediocre.
That I'm afraid of.
What does that even mean though? It's like, because in some ways, like mediocrity.
Failing, I'm more afraid of being mediocre than fracaso, failure.
But what does mediocrity mean?
It's just doing a little bit of, maybe it's like playing it safe.
Playing it safe.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. But sometimes
that could be one view, or
I think that's probably the right view. But I think sometimes I think of mediocrity in terms of not having the validation from others. Like if I just like if this podcast or any of my expressions only ends up getting X number of views over a period of time, I will have felt mediocre.
Huh.
But in reality, I know I'm getting better at this. Yeah? And I'm not actually a mediocre interviewer.
not at all.
No,
You're one of the greatest speakers. Like, no,
Well,
truly. Like,
thank you.
In terms of expression, I always told you that's what I really admire about.
Yeah.
When I'm with you, I'm like, well,
Well, thank you. I think, but at some point I'm going to get very good at this.
really.
But whether or not other people will see it is another question. And I think I hold in such high regard this idea that, oh no, the best will rise to the top and people will see it if it really is the best. And I'm not entirely sure that's how the universe works.
It's like it's a marathon, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that ties up to the music again. You gotta do it because it
comes from the
me
heart.
first, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and it, for me, it's hard work for me to really put people and all the mind thing I put into the external, really put in this background
Yeah.
and do it as really a personal expression thing, but not because like, not expecting the outcome, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I think in Kabbalah they talk about that a lot. Like, do it. Everybody talks about it. It's a cliche thing, but just do it because you love it and not because of the outcome, right?
Yeah.
Like, and truly, when you do it for that thing, maybe the outcome comes. It's like,
But like, I hope that my mind gets to the place that doing something because I love it is sufficient for me not to feel mediocre. That's what I hope. Because honestly, in the last month, I think you're my 9th interview, which means that I've wanted so badly to do this because it allows me to connect.
yeah.
It actually creates
Yeah.
the space to connect with.
And it helps me, believe it or not.
Yeah, it helps me. It helps. Hopefully, it helps other people. But the
'cause-
point is, it's like I'm doing it because it's coming from a place of desire and curiosity
yeah.
and want, and that's fun for me.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's enough.
Mm-hmm. And
is.
then things can happen.
Yeah.
Things will happen.
Now,
At least even I know if this album that I've been putting all this work and blah, blah, blah. Let's say nothing happens. Hypothetically. A lot of things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
But let's say nothing happens. It still is a key to a door for the next thing.
of course,
I try
you're
to
right,
see it
you're
as
right,
that way.
You're right.
Like, if I hadn't done that, I'm not gonna do that next
Dude.
thing that I'm. So just in Uruguay, one of my yoga teachers told me that, and I was like, yes.
That's such a great thing for me to remember.
And be like, fuck it, I have to do this in order to have that key for the next whatever. Or at the end, we're gonna die.
See, at the end, we're gonna die. You always tell me that you learn so much from me.
Mm-hmm.
But here's an example where you remind me of something that I already maybe knew, but I needed to remember, and you remind me of it. Which is that, like, the outcome that is in my mind is limited.
Uh-huh.
That the possibility of what is possible is far greater outside of what my mind is capable of thinking. So, I remember,
See.
I mean, this is slightly contradictory because my time at Airbnb wasn't necessarily the fullest expression of my heart. That being said, I got to Airbnb because I tried to be a travel show host on TV back in 2008, and this woman she moved to San Francisco, and we met up, and I started hanging out with all the Airbnb people, but it was because I had taken a class in how to be a TV host. So I was like in my element.
Yeah.
and I failed at my travel show. It was called Not in Your Guidebook. And I failed. I don't know if I really failed, right? But actually, it
was
put
just
me on a path
for the next
thing. So I had learned this lesson.
Damn,
but see, here's an example where you're reminding me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So though, while I appreciate that nugget, I have heard you talk about your dreams for this album. You've mentioned and said in passing things like a Latin Grammy.
Yeah, and I want that thing to be one more thing in the calendar. You know?
Just another thing, not like the main thing.
No, pero I feel it. I feel it here.
Like what?
I don't know. I kind of even don't want to like.
You don't want to talk about it.
No, not in the sense of
Jinxing
yeah,
it.
but I don't want to.
You don't want to jinx it.
I just want to. I feel this is like almost like a scientific method. I'm figuring it out, like along the way, all of this, right? Oh, did I really do it with like my heart and my passion? Am I doing it really right? Like, also all of this musical journey, I think it's like, what do you choose to know yourself? And I'm actually happy that music is one of those things that paths or vessel that I'm choosing to know myself more.
How beautiful is that? That's so cool.
It could be in your TV show, even in your experience in Airbnb. Like, I'm just happy that I recognized. I was like, you know what? Music is gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna. It's just instead of doing a ceremony and sitting and be like, oh, this happened. I'm also seeing as music, or it should be like you're just like.
Yeah.
Should be no, it shouldn't be like, oh, I do this, but having that as
an opportunity
to
learn
know
about yourself
more
and grow,
and use it as a instead of writing in a dear diary, doing it musically and putting my thoughts, the same thing, but like putting in those thoughts. And now this album is gonna be just this diary of right now, and it gives me just more long run. You know?
It's more sustainable.
I'm like,
I agree.
the purpose is to continue exploring, and in this world, everything is explored. So I guess exploring yourself should be the most fun thing, I guess.
I love that because I sometimes feel so grateful that I've taken these different journeys to meet people in different countries as part of the show, or even these conversations, because they allow me to learn more about me and to be more curious about not just you, but about my own process. So it's actually giving me an excuse in a way to go deeper within. So I'm so thankful for it. And that is what makes it fun and meaningful.
Absolutely.
We solved it.
We solved it. And few times I just realized as well, I have a conversation where I'm fully here.
Yeah.
Like I haven't talked to somebody that I'm like, I'm here, and it's so fun. It's just like writing an eternal song. We're just following this thing, then co-creating this talk together. But like usually, maybe I talk to people and my mind starts wandering off. What do I have to do next? I know that right now it's like, this is it.
You're present.
I'm so here.
And you're actually really, we'll say, you're very clear.
You made me like bring things that didn't know they were there.
I think I find God and spirit in the moments where I'm present with another person.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something so special when I just have that, when this exists. And I want to transmit that. I was going to ask you, well, curious if there's a song that comes to your mind when I ask you, is there a song that represents, I don't know, you said all these songs are like so true, but I was wondering about vulnerability. Like, is there a song that feels like, I don't know, raw or scary or vulnerable? Like, I know you talked about the Cachorro one as being scary because of how it might be received in a culture that is all about cancel and shit like that.
I have two in the album that I'm peeing my pants with them.
Okay.
Truly.
Why?
Because that is, it's truly a piece of my world, and it holds a lot of value because it's about my grandparents and my roots. And one of them, it'll be hard to sing it because it's my grandma sent me
An audio.
an audio. She's a very matriarchal, and now in this late part of her life, she's settling down so much more. She sent me this audio, kind of like saying goodbye at her, with her own words, camouflaged. This beautiful, almost like a poem, what she said in my.
So you incorporated that into a song.
Yeah, because I had this song that it's called Cardenal. It's a bird that I love in Uruguay.
The red one.
The red one. But in Uruguay, it only has the head is red. Beautiful singing. I love it. And I had that song, just one verse, and I couldn't finish it. It was just there. I never was able to finish it. And then once we're in the ending part of the album, and we were missing one more song to reach the percentage to put in the Grammys for Best New Singer-Songwriter or whatever.
You need a length?
You need to have 75% of the songs written by you.
Uh-huh.
So we needed one more, and I had this one. And my grandma sent me this, and in this flow of creating this album, I'm like, I have this audio, and I have this song. I showed it to him.
To your producer.
And we started recording, and then I sent him the audio. And we put it the audio, and it landed just perfectly. And it's almost like a conversation between me and my grandma, and it's gonna be there forever.
Wow.
That's one of them. And having that personal experience with me and my grandma, also like people are gonna want to have that last talk with their grandmas, right? And I wanted to honor them before they go. I don't want to be like, oh, I didn't honor them when they were alive. So I try to do this album to honor roots, and that's why I'm here while they're still alive.
Why is it called Cardinal?
Cardenal, because of the bird. Because of the singing. I always thought there's something funny that happened in the song. We were like, I want her to visit me as a cardinal.
Oh, you want her to return?
And visit me here and there with cardinals.
Wow.
So for me, that was one of the birds. It was funny enough, I was here and I was like, my dad was in Uruguay. I was like, Papa, go outside. He's like a ecosonda. He does this. He's like, cardinal, pam, pam, pam. He knows all the birds. Like, record me cardinal. It's like, okay, vale. He goes out, recorded dorado, cardenal, chingolo, pa, 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 pa. And I was like, oh, there's the cardinal. And I got mistaken. I was wrong. So in the song, there's this other bird that sings, and it's not a cardinal, but I cannot change the name.
That's funny.
So there has to be a meaning there too, as well. Like,
do you know what bird it is?
Yeah, but I forgot. It's saiba.
Saiba?
Something. It was something with S.
That's funny.
It's almost like a zorzal, but like.
I love that.
Or orange, but beautiful singing. But it's there.
And the second song you were going to mention.
Mm-hmm. And the second song is about that one I could sing.
Yeah. Is
about my grandparents from my mother's side, the Cuban ones. So my grandma has Alzheimer's. She has dementia already. There's a good thing about the stories that the only person that she doesn't forget about is my grandpa.
Your grandfather?
Yeah. But she forgets everything else. But I was just standing on the shoes of my grandfather. What happens if they forget about you? Like, if this person that I spend my entire life forgets about me. What would I do? And it talks about the impermanence of things, and letting go is an act of love, and just love with no in return in that sense. Unconditional.
And why is the song so, you think, scary for you? or vulnerable?
Because yet again, it's not like a party hit. It's just it's almost like a Disney song. You know, it has orchestra, it has violin. It's
So you're
deep, it's strong. When you hear it, you're like, you know, el cariño se fue y mi nombre se perdió. No es tu culpa marchitar. Voy a amarte aunque no puedas recordar. It's like
I'm going to love you even though I can't remember you, or
even though you
can't remember me. I'm going to love you even though you can't remember me.
No es tu culpa marchitar. It's not your fault that you're
Like leaving.
like aging.
Uh-huh.
But like as a flower, when a flower like marchita is.
Uh-huh.
When you say marchitar, it's a flower that
Like that's
it's
wilting.
wilting.
It's not your fault that you're wilting.
I'm gonna love you
I'm going to love you
either way.
either way.
Like I'm here, and it's I played with that situation of my grandparents, and yeah, I can do it.
You want to?
Yeah. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, dee-dum, da-da-da-dum. What are we gonna do with the English speakers if they want to understand this?
I might put some subtitles.
Nice.
I'll ask you.
The song is called Cariño me ves, my love. You see me? La historia es memoria y uno vive para contarla. Y a veces se borra y solo queda sentir. Aunque de mí no te acuerdes, espero más tarde que pronto, cuando estemos allá arriba, Diosito te acuerde de mí y que devuelva por solo un segundo lo que vivimos en nuestra vida y charlar de lo que nos faltó antes de partir. Y una vez que recapitulemos, darnos un beso de aquellos. Gracias por existir en esta vida junto a mí. Ay, cariño, me ves, tanto juntos se fue. No es tu culpa marchitar. Voy a amarte aunque no puedas recordar. No puedes tener nada que quieras para siempre. Si no estás dispuesto a soltarlo, se va a ir. Retener es carencia, mi hermano. Aguantar en lugar de soltarlo. Todo gira, viene y va, se transforma. Te quiero tanto que te dejo ir. Y que devuelva por solo un segundo lo que vivimos en nuestra vida y charlar de lo que nos faltó antes de partir. Y una vez que recapitulemos, darnos un beso de aquellos. Gracias por existir en esta vida junto a mí. Ay, cariño, me ves, tanto juntos se fue. Yo te canto pa' no olvidar. Y tú luchas por recordar. El cariño voló y mi nombre se perdió. Oh, no es tu culpa, marchitar. marchitaré. Voy a amarte aunque no puedas recordar.
Wow. That got me. I was tearing up in there.
Damn, usually I have a little raspy voice today,
That's
but
good.
usually I just tear up on that song. I cannot even finish it.
Yeah.
And I've been crying so much. Right now I'm a little like already
Anesthetized.
by this song because like
You do it so much.
no, and I've been hearing it so much in the studio just now.
Yeah.
But the first 2 months, just writing it there and hearing it, I would just cry and cry and cry. And this album, one of the biggest signs I had to do this album that I was like, oh, I'm there on the right track, is that I was crying. Even when I was singing it, I was making myself cry.
Yeah.
And all of that emotion, I was able to just mourn while I was singing. I was able to, to just really feel it all. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? I'm able to access this strong emotion. And one of the struggles I was having is that I thought it was not possible, even though I was doing it, to have this duality coexist of like strong emotions, deep songs, and yet my other side of me, fun and light. And so in the album, I was able to kind of do both. And I was really worried once I was kind of ready. I was like, my God, this kind of like maybe doesn't make sense. Like strong emotions and then I was like, fuck it, make them feel like if they're gonna listen to the whole thing, laugh, have joy, feel the love, and then go deep, feel what you have to feel, cry if you have to cry. And it's so good, like this spectrum of emotions that I was able to feel for myself in the album. And I was thinking of the people and I was like, maybe it's too much. And then I was like, because like, I showed to a couple of friends the song of my grandma audio and I had to leave the fun thing for the end because otherwise they were gonna be like, shit. And I thought that was wrong to feel deep emotions or whatever. But then that's part of me. Even though I look like sometimes like a little clown and I want to like blah, 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 blah. If there's no like deepness to it, I'm out. I realized that. Like, it could be tribal, just a mate. But if I don't see the deepness of having a mate with a friend in my brain, sometimes, it's like, it's not.
What's the point?
What's the point? So I know when to be shallow, of course, but also being able to embrace strong emotions that we run away. I was just in Uruguay and people don't like strong emotions. In the circle that was moving, maybe. But like, yeah, just deep feeling.
Yeah.
And it's there. People are afraid.
Yeah. And I think artists,
They don't know maybe I have music to just and create space again and organize.
I think that's a great reason for music and art to exist, is to remind people of those emotions that are within us.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
what else is the fucking point of art?
What else?
To like shake people and be like, hey, this is you.
Yeah.
You have these things in common with me. And you can only feel them if I put my heart out there, which you've done.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Shit.
Yeah.
And also, nothing matters. It's such a duality, deepness, but nothing matters. So
yeah,
it's like,
and I think those two are important because you can't just stay in the depth all the fucking time. Like, what's the point? You gotta enjoy it too.
Yeah, like,
Not that you can't enjoy the depth. It's like,
yeah, like,
but keep it light sometimes too.
what was the word? Ignorance is a bliss sometimes.
Ignorance is a bliss, too.
True, I agree. But also, I don't want to stay there,
Yeah. I usually have a question that I end with, but I'm wondering if there's something that you think I missed, that you think I should ask about, whether it be about the album or your life. We really didn't cover a lot of your your background, but because your music is so personal, I feel like we got there.
You got there.
But is there something that you think would be important to share that I missed?
Oh, I don't think you missed anything. Just perfect. Perfect. I do want to ask you.
Yeah.
How are you? How do you feel as well with this?
With this,
In
this moment?
this moment in the interview, how it also you feel about when you are gonna post all of this and your creative process there, and I want to switch a little bit the interview.
Yeah, I like that. I'm an awful judge of whether something is going well or not well, and the reason, and that's actually a good sign.
Yeah.
If I'm aware of how something is, then it means I'm not fully present. And if my goal is to be present with my guest and to like fully be here in this moment, then I'm out of the realm of whether this is good or this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like so present, and I've not once. Maybe one time I thought about the camera. I hope that the camera was able to capture Timba when Timba was singing, because I was like trying to figure out if the angle was right.
I was trying to move like this.
But at the end of the day, like I never really thought about the camera and an audience, which is exactly where I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's like, so if you ask me how it went, I would say it went great because we were able to be present with each other.
So much. They barely went to other places.
You were really focused, I will say. You weren't very... I thought you were going to be way more...
No, I'm right here with you.
Yeah.
It's weird because this also... It gives you the permission to be a little egocentrical. And sometimes you're with people and you don't want to be talking all about yourself, you know?
I didn't feel like you were being...
No, but here also it was like playing around, like, it's your experience, it's whatever you gathered, como que just honor it.
Yeah, honor it.
Put yourself there and
allow it.
And even though, just a true conversation.
Yeah.
Even in our day-to-day when we sit.
Yeah.
¿Qué te pasó? Te pegaste. I don't allow myself to be in that I'm here and owning what I say.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Completely awesome.
So,
you left me ready as well for the album.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to the studio and so many things you just cleared out.
Well, you too for me.
We went everywhere.
We went everywhere.
I'm going to listen to this.
I'll send you the full thing before I edit it.
Ooh.
I was going to ask
Let's post it.
I know, I should. I have to think about the order I want to release things in too. I was going to ask you, I end all of my conversations with a question. But it's not a question that I ask you. I mean, it is. But it's a question that you would ask someone to ask themselves. Like if you were to leave people with a question to ask themselves on their own path, what would it be? You can take some time if you want.
Cut. No.
I'll cut.
I know. One more time.
Yeah. So what's a question that you would ask someone to ask themselves? Like the winemaker said, what do you like? Like he was like, he wants people to have a sense of what they like and don't like, and to get curious about that. So that's an example of an answer that someone gave. What's something you would want someone to ask themselves? Often it's a question that you ask yourself.
Yeah, I'm really... Whatever you're doing, art, work, but you want to put your passion, your time, are you doing it? Would you do it regardless of the success?
Would you do
and the fame and the approval? Would you do it regardless?
Would you do what you're doing?
Help me distill that better.
Would you do what you're doing regardless of success or fame or money?
If nobody existed, would you still do it?
I like that.
If it's art, right? I guess. If it's other thing.
Maybe no. Maybe though. Like,
I don't know. No. True.
Yeah, would you still be doing it if
there was no approval?
Yeah,
There was
if there was no
support.
approval involved.
And also drop there. Are you more afraid of success or failure?
Yeah, I like that too. It's all related.
No, they're also related. But that one that we said.
Thanks, my friend. Gracias.
A ti. Te quiero.
Come here, Timba. Timba. I love you.
You did a great one.
You did a good job.
Benny.